Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video, it is going to be the completed guide on the dead bride to absolutely destroying her on hard mode. So without further ado guys, let's get right on into today's video. Before we do that though, real quick, my credit code is going to be on screen right now, so please do use that. Other than that, my Discord server is going to be linked in the description. Now with all of that out of the way, let's actually get on into how to do this. Okay, so people, starting off with the dead bride. Her weak point type is burst, her attack attribute is going to be chill, her resistance for fire is very weak, but her resistance for chill is very strong, her resistance to electricity is normal, and she also does have a strong resistance to toxic. Now this game does recommend you have 7200 chill resistance whilst fighting this dead bride. To this I do not agree at all. As long as you know the mechanics for this bride, you do not need a literal single healing mod or a literal single health mod to fight this bride. So starting off, she has a sensor on the side of her head, which is a weak point. She also has a core cover, which is on her chest, and then she does have a weak point on her calves to basically help with her balance. Now if you do take out her core, this is going to give you a lot more access to her shoulders, and it's also going to help you make her delete her even faster. Now the last thing of note is going to be the amplifier on her arms. So when she goes into a frenzy state, these two amplifiers on screen right there are going to be what you are going to want to aim at in order to take her down. So let me give you a rundown real quick on how I am going to run this bride right now, and the setup and equipment that I'm going to be using right now in this run. So people, for this instance, I'm going to be using a supply moisture build on Valby. So the supply moisture being the integral mod over here, which gives us extra critical hit rate and crit damage when we are standing in Valby's water from her third ability. The rest of the build is just a generic Valby build based for survival. So increase health, increase defense and cooldown, which is going to be all you are going to need for this. Now the weapon I'm going to be running is the Enduring Legacy with these stats. These stats are not optimal, bear in mind. I do have another video covering the Enduring Legacy in depth, so please do watch that for proper results. Other than that, I also want to show you that this is the build I'm going to be running on here. So that is essentially this Enduring Legacy that I'm going to be running in order to show you how the bride functions. So with every single boss in this game, they all essentially function the same. Once you start dealing big damage to them and they do not like the damage you are dealing, what they are going to do is run on into their immunity. Now with Valby over here specifically, I'm going to show you what it looks like. For my setup, I'm going to run a lot of water down here just so I can throw and mix up with the supply moisture for once the bride spawns in. Now that she is here, we are going to want to use our ping, and you can see her weak points on her shoulders over there, her core on the chest, and her calves on the bottom of her legs. Now you do want to be aiming for these weak points, and as you can see, when she does things like this and stays still, it makes it easier for us to target her weak points. Now she's going to spawn some enemies over here, and we've taken her down. Once she's down, you want to be shooting her to do as much damage as you possibly can to the bride. Again, you can see me aiming at her chest and all. This is so that I'm able to basically deal more damage. Now once she does this stage, she's going to jump. The best way to avoid this one is just going to be jump and shoot, because not all of these are going to hit you. I'm aiming at all of her weak points on her legs, and now she's going immune. As soon as she goes immune, the first thing she is going to do is her frenzy attack, which is this big all ice globe over here, which is something you are going to want to avoid. Unless you're Lepic and you're trying to take damage and get your reset in, you are 100% going to want to avoid this. Now the bride will teleport around, and this is where we aim at her amplifiers on her arms. Whilst running in solo, you can delete these fairly quickly, so it's not too much of an issue in solo. However, a lot of players in a public lobby will not know that this is where you've got to aim, and they will end up just shooting the bride and doing little to no damage on the bride. Again, she's doing her frenzy attack after she managed to freeze you. If any one of her attacks land on you, she will do her frenzy attack, because this is her way of trying to kill you. Now again, from here, I'm just going to let my role play out, and if you don't take her attack down, if you don't take her amplifiers down, she will keep going until she essentially gets bored, and she will get out of her frenzy state just like that. Now once she is over here, again, I'm just going to target her weak points while standing in the water. I've destroyed all of her weak points now, so she is raw to take a bunch of damage and take her down. Now that is as easy as it gets with the bride. as soon as you get more used to it, you can play a little bit more risky for this. And the bride is also a great farm for red mods in order to transmute them and turn them into other red mods in this game. Now with this run specifically, it took me almost 2 minutes because I'm trying to show you this for demonstration purposes. Now that I've quickly gone on over all the aspects of the bride on her own, with this Valby build again, will show you how long I can quickly delete the bride if I'm trying to delete her as fast as I possibly can. Essentially, the best way to deal with the bride is just keep running her until you get used to her mechanics. Once you are used to her mechanics, you will no longer struggle with the dead bride at all. And given that there are a lot of players that also need help with the dead bride, I do think it is important to maybe consider doing that. Now, as you can see, we're aiming at her shoulder right now, trying to hit her once she's doing her weak point attack. We've got one. Are we going to be able to break it? Yes, we are. So we've broken one and we've broken her core. Now again, holding the fire rate down with the legacy, you can see her health slowly dissolving, and that is what you are going to want to focus on. Again, over here, taking another one of her weak points down, and she is not very happy about that. What she has done now, she has gone immune. She's going to use her frenzy attack, so I start running away. Simple as that. Then she's going to start making her way towards me after she's done frenzying. Once she's done frenzying like that, I'm just going to aim at her. I'm going to aim at her amplifier. Again, when she does that big old T-posing attack, you're just going to want to aim at her again. You're just going to want to keep pushing, aiming at the weak points for maximum damage. And if you don't even want to aim at the weak points because your weapons are built different, you can just delete her, as simple as that. Now, obviously, the more damage you do to a boss, as soon as she goes into a frenzy state, she is going to do that big snow globe. And oh my god, look at that back, yo! With this, you are essentially going to just learn the bride by running her more and more. Again, with that run in its entirety, it took me just under 1 minute to run the bride, which if you don't have Lepic, it is a perfectly acceptable time. Getting the bride down within the 10-minute time limit is more than good enough. So that is essentially how I think that everyone needs to learn the dead bride and essentially deal with the dead bride. So it is as simple as that. Just a few quick things before this video is over is that I think so many people struggle with the dead bride, not because the dead bride is difficult, but because they themselves are just not set up correctly. Not having the enduring legacy is one key thing. Investing in the legacy is one thing I highly recommend. Not even just investing, hard investing. If you want to put every single thing into a weapon, it has to be the enduring legacy, because this will give you the most in return. Now, another key thing to mention is that the more players that are running the boss, the harder it will get. So the boss will have more health scaling depending on how many people are in the game. If you're running it solo, the boss will have less health. 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, the higher you go, the more health the boss has. And if these players are not capable of pulling their own weight, then you know you end up with the horrible runs where people basically just cannot keep up and you do little to no damage, and everyone gets swept by her stake. Sorry, not swept by a stake. They get swept by her mechanics just because they do not understand them or know how to conquer them. But with this video, I hope I've made the dead bride a little bit easier for other people in this game, and I hope you've enjoyed, and that's basically been this video. If you have enjoyed, please do drop a like, and if you are new here, consider subscribing. I do go live every single day at 11:30 London time, so GMT. So if anyone does need help, I am hosting boss carries on my live streams every single day, at least for now. But anyways, that's this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, people.